very interesting chapter. That is chapter 30 from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Part 2. And in this, we are going to learn some of the harshest truths of life. These are very, very harsh truths. Now, some of you may not like to hear these truths. It is not palatable. But since these have been told by the Lord Himself, that is Sri Krishna in the form of Kapila Muni, has given us these truths, for which we have to accept them and learn more about why does he say these words, what is the reason for doing this. So for us it is very, very important. The life by itself is miserable. He starts with that. And he talks about human beings who are always constantly seeking something or the other, which means they are saying, I want to attain happiness, I want to be peaceful, I want to be calm, I want to get something. So this chapter is literally like a bombshell for those who feel that, spirituality, what is spirituality about? So I just wanted to caution you before I started this chapter. If you cannot take this chapter in the right sense, then this scripture is not meant for you. So be a little attentive to this. So we are doing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Part 2, Chapter 30, Description by Lord Kapila of Adverse Fruitive Activities. Kapila Muni said, as the mass of clouds does not know the powerful influence of the wind, a person engaged in material consciousness does not know the powerful strength of time factor by which he is carried. This opening statement of the Lord is something very strange. If you recollect, yesterday we were talking about that when the Lord comes into the picture as a manifest, that means he takes a form. The Lord is formless. Okay, we read that yesterday. But then to do something, you have to take a form. So for activity purpose, the form is required. But the moment a form comes into the picture, there is always the beginning and there is always the end. We have understood this so far, correct? So for anything to happen, there will be always a beginning part and then there is an end part. Now, these two parts are managed by a factor which is called time, isn't it? So the time is the ruling, factor over here for anything to happen. Let us say, for example, you will find that a child is born, there is a date of birth, and then he grows up and he dies in the end. So there is always death. So there is always the beginning and the end. There is a beginning of a season, there is a beginning of an end of a season, and the season ends and the new season starts. We know this. In a similar fashion, you will find that anything that is a created concept in this world will always have a beginning and an end. Nothing is endless, nothing. If we feel that there is something endless, there is always a problem in this world, because then you are not talking of this domain at all. So what he says is, human beings, they are always influenced by this factor called time. When you look at your own life, you will find that time played such an important role. When you look at, you say, you had to do your studies when you were in school and college, didn't time play an important part? And then you wanted to get a job. Suppose you don't get a job for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, what happens? Isn't time affecting you? Again, some people, they may be growing up. Now, their desire was to get married when they are 25 and 30. Now they are 35 and 40 and still they are not married. Are they bothered about time or no? So this factor called time is a very, very critical part of our life. We get entrenched and completely lost in the factor called time. So he says, when you are involved in the material activities, could be anything, even your life after marriage also is time factor, isn't it? And then children, and then house, and then so on and so forth, and then finally retirement and death, diseases. So many things are ruled by the factor called time. So he says, a person engaged in material consciousness, that means every person who is engaged in the material worldly activity, does not know the powerful factor, the strength of the time factor. How powerful is time? Nobody can understand. Now this time carries you through your life. Verse 2, whatever is produced by the materialist with great pain and labor for so-called happiness, the Supreme Lord at the time of time, as the time factor, destroys, and for this reason the conditioned soul laments. Anything that is created and any human being is running after that object, maybe it is success, maybe it is money, maybe it is relationships, it could be anything. Human beings are called materialists because they are running after material gains. I want to get married. I want to settle down in my life. I need a good salary. I need a good job. I need a good house. I need to settle down. All these things do matter to a person. And as you grow older, then you are thinking in terms of, I need money to settle down and, lead a retired life. I want to become very happy. God says over here, Kapila Muni is saying something very unique. What does he say? Time is the factor which destroys this thing. And the conditioned soul laments about it. You may be a film actor in the prime of your life. A young woman may want to become a film actress. So she goes out and auditions and gets her roles. By the time she is 24 and 25, you will find that the industry says, the film industry says, you have become very old now. We want someone who is 16 and 18 years old. And in that way, you lose jobs. Nobody wants you. So time has literally crushed you. Again, if you are a person who is getting married at the age of 30, 35, 40, are you not worried about time? Think, as a woman you are worried, what is going to happen to my, childbearing years? Can I harvest my eggs? Can I do this? Can I do that? They are worried like nobody's business. Time is a factor which is controlling them. Actually, it is a noose around their neck. I will lose my youth. I will lose that flexibility of the body. I won't be able to have children. Men who are older are thinking, I don't have the virility left in my life. I have to depend on the blue pill. And this is how man looks at life. Time is a factor which is destroying everything in your life when you are running after happiness. See the way in which these words have been put. Whatever is produced by the materialist with great pain and labor for so-called happiness. So there is a man who is going to work very, very hard in his life. He puts in so much of effort. He does so many things. Gathers the money little by little, little by little. Finally, he goes out and buys for himself a car or a house or, things, whatever that he requires. So this is what he says. You are a materialist with a lot of pain and labor. You are running after so-called happiness. By getting a car, you think you are going to be happy. By getting a house, you think you are going to be happy. By getting a wife, you think you are going to be happy. By getting children, you think you are going to be happy. Can you understand these words? These are extremely dangerous words. Human beings are always running after material gains. And it is always about happiness, 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 happiness. Can I get a little happiness? And what is God saying over here? The Lord says, as the time factor destroys, and for this reason the conditioned soul laments. You are the conditioned soul. You are worried every single day. My days are getting numbered, If I don't do this faster, what will I get? Somebody asked me, Guruji, I have to buy a house. I am taking a 20-year loan. Will I be happy? Will I be able to pay this loan earlier? I looked at that person and I felt very sad. Because that man is going to struggle his entire life. Even if he pays in 15 years or 10 years, that place is not going to belong to him anymore. It will be taken up by somebody else. Many years ago, I went to a house which was more than 3,500 square feet, a huge place. 2 people staying in that house, husband and wife. Now they were devout couple. So they were devout couple, they would pray to God very, very religiously. The man died. Only the woman was left. They had the house full of memories, Small trinkets and things like that person had bought and adorned the whole house. There were books and there were lots of things. Then the man dies. The woman has nothing to do with those things. She tries to give them to whomsoever concerned. Now she lives like a ghost in that house. What is the point of that life? Tell me. What happiness did any person get? That man who died, did he get happiness? Or did the woman who was with him, did she ever get happiness? Time is the factor which has garroted them, around their neck. And nothing was happy. Nobody was happy. The world itself was unhappy. Finally, the house had to be sold because there was nothing there. So this is what God is talking about. Kapila Muni is giving us the realities of life. The misguided materialist. See, look at the words. The next verse is, the misguided materialist does not know that his very body is impermanent and that the attraction of home, land, wealth, which are in relationship to the body, are also temporary. Out of ignorance only, he thinks that everything is permanent. Human beings have this idea. The materialists, the people who are lost in the material world, who are working somewhere, earning money and trying to pay off for the house, the property. See, he has given these three things. The home, land and wealth. Man loves to run after these things. But what he doesn't understand, his body is impermanent. Like that, these things are also impermanent. They are the cause. The land itself is a problem. The body itself is a problem. The wealth is a problem. And finally, the home, which they think, I have a home, is the biggest problem in their life. Where does happiness lie over there? You are constantly struggling. If you are going to look for a house, or if you are going to build a house, if you are going to take up a properties, if you are going to run after wealth, you can never be happy, never. This is what Kapila Muni is telling you. Now you may think Guruji always says, negative factors like this. Sorry, I don't ever say anything from my side. What is written in the scriptures is always is what I bring it to your notice. This is a scripture. He is telling you, you are a misguided materialist. Misguided means you are not in a position to understand. Yesterday, one person sat in front of me. I was telling him some things. He says to me, Guruji, the richest man in India, he has so much money. I looked at him and I said, that man is the biggest, pauper in India. He doesn't have even 1 rupee. Now this man looked at me in surprise and he says, what are you saying? How can that be? He has got hundreds of cars, including Rolls Royces, this and that. He has got buildings which are worth billions of dollars. He has got aircrafts, beautiful wife, children, they are all married in rich families. I said, this man is the biggest beggar in the world. He has no money. How is that possible? Well, you don't understand business then. Nobody understands business. And that is the reason why you think those people have money. Today you may have millions. You can say, I've got crores of rupees in my bank account. Well, you are the poorest man in the world. Because you are worried what to do with the money if you have. Your money is going to go out of the window very soon. And then you are going to be worried for it. Got the point or no? The market is lost money in the last few days' time. Do you know the amount of money the market has lost? Every person is crying. Today, there are the desalination plants in Middle East. 80% of the water comes from there. If the plant is destroyed, you can have billions in your bank account, sir. If there is no water for you, you are going to suffer. One of the people whom I know, he heard that Dubai is a Mecca. He is like a very rich place. Everything is going on quite fine. Today, you wouldn't even want to step into that country. No person would want to go to that place because you are going to be afraid of your life. Even if they say we have fortified this country, you know you are not able to even return back to India. Can you imagine that? You are worse than a prisoner of war. You can't post anything in the YouTube or in social media that the airport is jammed, things are going wrong. You can't do that because you will be straight away dragged to jail. You can't post anything going wrong in that country. And you are thinking that that is happiness? The person may be having millions. I have already told you a story of a person I knew who was in Kuwait for many years. This lady was working over there. Whether she was a maid or what, I don't know. But she had gathered a lot of money for her future. And one day, Iraq went and bombed Kuwait. This was many years ago. All the money was lost. She came back to India completely poor. There was no money left. I can tell you of my own uncle. My uncle was in Beirut, Lebanon, many years ago when I was a kid. The Beirut bombing started. Lebanon was under attack. This man who was the CEO at that time, CEO was like a god, you know, a very rich person. He literally had to flee to Egypt by paying a lot of money. He converted all whatever money he had into diamonds. And by the time he landed in Egypt, in Cairo, somebody had robbed him of all the diamonds. He had nowhere to go. This is my own uncle. So he and his wife, they called up India. And they told one tiny heroine was there at that time. Very tiny, means very short female. They called her up and said, you have to vacate my house in Mumbai. Get out of my house because I don't have a house to stay. I have no money. This woman had nothing to do. She had to run to her husband, so-called boyfriend, and tell him, you have to get married to me instantly. He's a superstar. And that woman and that man got married. Then my uncle came over to India and stayed in that place. But he had become completely poor. Somebody who was living in so much of wealth had no money today. This is something nobody understands. That is why the Lord says you are finally going to end up in misery. Out of ignorance, he thinks everything is permanent. This money which I have is permanent. Some people have this idea, I have got money in the bank and I can take retirement. You don't know what is going to hit you. Nobody knows. Everybody feels, I am safe, I am safe, I am safe. Nobody is safe. The living entity, in whatever species of life he appears, finds a particular type of satisfaction in that species. And he is never averse to being situated in his condition. So if any person means doesn't mean a human being. Suppose you are born as an elephant. You will find as a male elephant, you are going to be interested in a female elephant. If you are a monkey, you will be interested in a female monkey. You got what I am saying? If you are born as a woman, you will be interested in a man. So all this attraction is always going to be there because God has made it like that. So in whichever species you are born, you are going to find attraction in your own species. Okay? And he is never going to be averse to being situated in such condition. And he feels that that is the height of his, happiness. Many people who are there in their 30s and 40s have come to me, Guruji, I want to get married, I want to get married. I said, what are you talking? Why are you asking me this question? You want to get married, don't come to me. Because if you are going to go into the gutters, that is not my problem. If you are a pig who wants to roll in the shit, that is your problem. I am not interested in telling you you should get married or not. Go ahead, get married. That is your funeral, not mine. I can only look at you in pity. Because you don't know anything. So here he is saying the same thing. Look at the words now. The conditioned living entity is satisfied in his own particular species of life, while deluded by the covering influence of the illusory energy. He feels a little inclined to cast off his body. Even when in hell, he takes delight in hellish enjoyments. Human beings, man is attracted to a woman. A woman is attracted to the man. I want to be in relationship with that person. Even old people, they should be literally going and, taking a back seat. No, but they are interested in, I want companionship. I want a man in my life. I want a woman in my life. This is how they talk. They are always attracted towards the opposite sex and they want to be in love and in romance but it doesn't work. Who is talking over here? Kapila Muni is talking. Okay, please understand this. Guruji is cynical person. But cynical to the core, because this is exactly what life is all about. You have a feeling that you are going to be happy. Never. You are going to be attracted towards your own species by the illusory energy called Maya. Maya is going to entangle you. The entanglement is so powerful that you cannot understand. Today's day and age, human beings are literally they are always lost in the world. They are attracted towards the opposite sex. Now they think that life is going to be hunky-dory. The man thinks, I will get a wife who will look after my parents. They are mistaken. No woman is going to look after his parents. Why not he looking after her parents? If marriage is equality, then the woman should also have the expectation, that my husband should look after my mother and father. No, that doesn't work. Why? It's a one-sided story. And the man thinks that, my wife should be taking care of my parents, number one. Number two, she should be nice to them. Nobody is nice to anybody. Everybody thinks of the other person as an enemy. No daughter-in-law is happy with the mother-in-law. Even mothers, you as a man or a woman, you are never going to be happy with your own mother if you think like that. Because both of you all are miserable. You are having high expectations from your mother. The mother has high expectations from the son or the daughter. This is what God is talking about. And even when it is a question of dying, they don't want to die. The old people or the younger ones, they are not interested in dying. Sir, why don't you die? No, I want to live for a few more years. I never had happiness in my life. As a youth, I never had happiness. And when I grew up, I was always working. I want a little bit of happiness. I want a little bit of happiness. What happiness are you looking for, sir? You are a miserable person. Why don't you go towards death? And this kind of a person who is always desirous, anyway goes to hell. This is what God says over here. Even when in hell, he takes delight in the hellish environment. Oh my God, this man is so attracted towards, these kind of things, that in hell also he is very happy. Oh, good. I am going to get roasted in very beautiful oil, now. Really? Yeah. Because, hell, I enjoy hell. There are all the beautiful women are over here. I want to enjoy them because that is what is important to me. This is how they look at hell. So God is saying these idiots love to even go to hell and they think that is a place of enjoyment. Now this verse is a dangerous verse. Listen to this verse. Such satisfaction with one's standard of living is due to deep-rooted attraction for body, wife, home, children, animals, wealth and friends. In such association, the conditioned soul thinks himself quite perfect. One's standard of living. If you are, most of you are middle class, you have a middle class mentality. You want, those who are poor people, they will say at least I can get 1 bedroom hall kitchen, I am very happy. Person who is slightly well off will say I want a 2 bedroom kitchen. Then I want a 3 and I want a 4 and I want... Well, it goes on like this. You have that person who is thinking of standards of living. What do you think this book got written so many years ago? I'm asking you all this. Can you imagine God is talking about you right now? Okay? Standards of living? Well, he knew the standards of living then. The rich or the poor people, they don't want to show that they are poor, they are better off. The middle class want to show off in their fancy cars, in their fancy clothes, in their fancy wives, in their, I go to gym. Have you looked at your elephant? What gym are you talking about? Your body is like an elephant's body. Even an elephant going to the gym also cannot become virile and strong, sir. He will still have that ugly grey body. I can go for all kinds of treatment also, nothing is going to change. And my skin is not going to become white as far as I am concerned, okay? It's not going to. I can't go and tell the world falsehood, Oh, we are very happy in our marriage. Why are you telling lies? The husband doesn't even want to come back home. The husband doesn't want to come back home. And the wife thinks that she is the most beautiful person in the world. What angle do you think you are beautiful? There was a time when the man wanted to be with you. Why? Because he was deluded with his eyes. He thought you are looking some very beautiful woman. Sorry, boss. You are no longer beautiful. You are the ugliest creature for him. But he doesn't have the guts to open his mouth and tell you those words. You think he has the guts to tell you that? And as a woman, do you have the guts to even tell your husband anything? You people are afraid of each other. Hypocrisy plays the game. He is very clearly talking about few things. See, the first is such satisfaction of one's own standard of living. I want to have a good house. I want to have a good car. If I buy a small car, people will laugh at me. I have to buy the biggest car. It should be pricey car. It should be like a big, Mercedes-Benz, Toyota or something like that. Show off. When you can't afford to even get a meal, you're talking of buying a Mercedes-Benz. Okay? There is no happiness. And yet you are thinking, this is how it is. And living due to deep-rooted attraction of the body. They are attracted to the body. And they are saying, oh, I have to do this, their own body, wife. Here is Kapila Muni very pointedly talking about wife. You think I am talking? You think you are happy with your wife. I am sorry, you are the most miserable person. Who is happy with his wife? The Lord is talking, boss. Can you understand? Children. Which child gives you happiness? No child will give you happiness. You are a miserable person. The day the child is born, you have sleepless nights, you have fights with your husband. You know that or you don't know that? You have to run to the hospital every now and then. Temperature has gone up, go to the hospital. This has happened, go to the hospital. Lose motions, go to the hospital. Have you done this or no in your life? Are you finding happiness over there? But you know, when you have to show the world, oh, look at my baby, look at my baby. You are a miserable person. That baby is like a monkey. Doesn't look any handsome from any point. Every child is born like a monkey, an ape. But you want to tell the world, oh, he looks like Krishna, he looks like Radha. Which angle do you think he looks like Krishna? You got what I'm saying? These are harsh words. Children. And then there are some idiots in this world, you know. I got a dog. I got a cat. I look after dogs. Well, you are a dog yourself. And you think there is happiness in a dog? What kind of a miserable person are you? No dog can give you happiness. Just imagine that dog is sick, you have to take, all the poop hanging out all over the town, you have to take him to the vet. You understand what I'm talking? And then you have to stick something in his mouth, and God knows the dirtiest things on earth you have to do. You have to remove the poop lying all over the town. Have you ever handled dog poop? No. Take a plastic bag and pick it up from the roadside. Wow. It's so nice to see that, isn't it? And you think that is happiness? To have dogs and cats and all these creatures? So God is saying, you seem to have this kind of a stupid happiness in your own body, in your wife, in your home, in your children, in your animal, in your wealth. I have so much money. I am better off in my life. And friends. I have this friend, I have that friend, I have that friend, I have that friend. No. Your friends are useless. Yesterday I was telling this person, I said to him, today you have 4 friends. When you are in Bangalore, you can come over here. I am visiting this friend, I am visiting that friend, I am visiting that one, and you can come anytime when you feel like, go anytime when you feel like. Tomorrow you get married. You can't even step out of your house. You can't say, I am going to visit my friend. Your wife is going to look at you and ask, which friend? Why do you want to go? There is so much of work over here. You want to waste your time going to your friend. And then you may be late by half an hour coming from work. She's going to sit on top of your head and eat your brains. Why were you late today? What happened? You go out for even a smoke, she's going to ask you, where the hell did you go? Why did you go? What is the reason? And let us say you have your girls from your college coming in, and you are going for, a coffee with them. You really think your wife is going to appreciate that? Going for a coffee with your ex-friends or something like that? She's going to murder you. So no, friends. You dare not have friends. When are you going to understand that? So the person was saying, no, that is not the case. I said, sorry boss. You may get married to a woman. She says the same thing. I have my friend coming over from my native place. I want to go and visit him. You are going to go after her with a, binoculars, and you're going to see what the hell is she talking. You want to bug her this thing. You want to put a Apple tag in her bag to see where she's gone. Well, sorry boss. Why are you doing like this? You see, marriage means end of family and relationships and every other person. And there is no happiness in anything. If you go out drinking with your friend, your wife is the most unhappiest person on earth. She wants you by her side. She will want to murder you also. But she always wants you by her side 24/7 so that you don't run away anywhere. You know? That's her money purse. Can you understand that or no? This is harsh words. The Lord is talking about this. In such association of this kind, all these kinds that I mentioned, that is your own body, your wife, your children, your animals, your wealth and your friends. In such association, the conditioned soul thinks himself quite perfect. He believes, and you ask any man, I am happy in my marriage. I am happy with my children. My son is growing well, my daughter is doing well in that, and she is doing this and he is doing that. The fake words that they keep on talking to each other. There is nothing real in it. They are telling lies to you. Don't listen to them. Although he is always burning with anxiety, such a fool always performs all kinds of mischievous activities with the hope which is never to be fulfilled in order to maintain his so-called family and society. You know, when people come to me, they will say, Guruji, I don't have any friends anymore. Now there is nobody to turn to. I don't know whom to talk to. I don't have any friends. For many years, the person over here also said the same thing. No longer do I have any friends. Sorry, boss. If you think you would have got married, you think you would have had one friend at least? No married man or woman has friends. Common sense will tell you, but you become deluded. I don't have any friends. You see where that friend, my neighbor, she has got 20 friends. She is just faking it. Can you not understand? Each of them want to murder each other. So don't come to me with this kind of an understanding that, oh, my friend, they are having so many friends. You are an idiot of the highest order then. He is burning with anxiety. Such a fool always performs kinds of mischievous activities. He wants to perform all kinds of things. That mischief he cannot, he has to pay through his nose. Many a times I have to become a little compassionate and I have to tell people, please don't do this just now. Can you wait for some time? Okay, let me clear the air for you so that you don't have to go through misery. Human beings don't want to wait. A person came to me, without my knowledge he got married, without my knowledge he did all the things. Today that man is suffering like nobody's business. They want babies. Today if you have to go and get a baby, IVF, treatment, I'll ask you a question. The woman will say, I have never bared myself to anybody. Sorry, boss. Every week on week you have to go to the hospital to do that. And the doctor is going to probe right inside your body. You like that? Why? Because you want a baby? They love this kind of a torture. Every week injections, every day injections, this, you cannot do this, you cannot do that, this is not to be done, that is not to be done. Man loves this kind of a sadistic pleasure. He gets sadistic pleasure out of these things. Such a fool always performs all kinds of activities. The hope is always there. Never to be fulfilled. It is never ever going to get fulfilled properly in order to maintain his so-called family and society. I have a family, The next verse is worse than this. So you think you have a family? A woman thinks, I have a husband, I have children, I have this, I have that. Sorry, you don't understand. You are a person in a jail. There is no release for you. You buy houses, you are in a jail. There is no release for you till you die. When you have children, you are in a jail. There is no release for you till they grow up. And even after growing up, you are a servant in their house. You are expected to work for the grandchildren then. Got the point or no? Common sense will tell you this. And if they don't work, what happens? Finished. So this kind of a life is there. Sri Krishna, as Kapila Muni, is telling you 5,000, 10,000 years ago what the hell has happened with man. If he is talking about that many years ago, he is talking about something today. All of you have this idea, Jai Shri Ram. Do you think Jai Shri Ram got happiness with his wife? I want you to think. Think about it. Who is telling you he was happy? Think about it. He went for Swayamvar, got married, came home with his wife. In a few weeks, he was told he is no longer the king, he is a pauper, go to the jungles. And that too with one other person, Lakshmana. So Sri Ram, Sita Maiya and Lakshmana went to the jungle. 14 years of misery. What happiness do you think they got over there? Then his wife gets kidnapped. Sita Maiya gets kidnapped. Is he under anxiety and pain or no? First he had to lose his father. Then he had to go to the jungle. Was he in pain? Yes or no? How much of pain? How much of trouble was he in? Isn't he there in trouble? Then you go to the jungle. Your wife gets kidnapped. Now you have to search for her. Every day is anxious. What has happened to her? 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 Taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 100. Got it? And then he searches for her and comes to know that she is in Lanka. He has to fight a demon and kill him and then bring his wife over. Now he thinks he is going to get happiness. He brings over her to Ayodhya, and when he gets her to Ayodhya, some people talk shit about her and he has to go and leave her in the jungles. How many days of happiness did he get? Can anybody tell me this? Do you think Sri Ram was happy from any point of view? See, think on those lines. When we talk about Ramayana and Mahabharata and stories like this, do you think Arjun, Yudhishthir and all these people were happy with their one wife? Just now only I was telling you, if your wife says I have to go and meet one of my old friends from college, you are going to feel miserable, are you not? And then you have to share your wife with 4 of your brothers. How does that seem happy? What happiness are we talking about? So can you understand whether it is Ramayana, Mahabharata or any story? There is no happiness anywhere. So the so-called family and society, you people are thinking, I am living in a good place, I have to show off in my society. I got a car, I got this, I got that. Your wife goes around, for parties and stuff like that. Your children go around and you feel happy about it. The Lord is telling you, here, you're a hypocrite par excellence. Hypocrisy is in your blood. You are just faking it. Can you understand you are faking it? There is no happiness anywhere. Next verse. He gives heart and sense to a woman who falsely charms him with Maya. He enjoys solitary embrace and talking with her, and is enchanted by the sweet words of the small children. Every man falls for this. He gives heart and sense to a woman. He feels that, oh, I got a wonderful wife, When they are getting married only, he's thinking, now I will be happy. 2 minutes of sex every time. 2 minutes? That's the most miserable time of his life. He has got fantastic expectations. And here is someone who is not even reaching 1/100th of that expectation. He is thinking that here he is married such a beautiful person. Nothing is working. Nothing is working. And if you have been married for many years, sorry boss, look at the miserable face that you have and your wife's face. He is very clear. Who falsely charms with Maya. Every woman falsely charms with Maya. She looks very nice, cute, this, that, beautiful. She'll do makeup and this and that just to entice you. And like an idiot, you are going to fall like that. He enjoys solitary embraces. He'll want to come in. Hello, darling, I'm back home. Can we have a kiss? And this and that. And such fake. There is no love anywhere. You're miserable. She is miserable. She has got 1 million expectations. You have got 500,000 expectations. Can you not understand that? This is how life is. And he says, and he is enchanted by her sweet words of the small children. See my baby, he's talking so sweetly. That person is a devil in disguise. But you feel, no, my child, he's like this. My daughter, she's like that. She's Cinderella, My son is Prince Charming, What Prince Charming? Don't worry, very soon this Prince Charming is going to be your murderer also. It's going to happen. Can you not understand? No man likes his mother or his father. They hate them from the bottom of their heart. They're interfering fools. And the mother and the father feel that, oh, my son has to do this according to us. I didn't get it, so my son has to do it. What? Expectations. Now, all this that we have spoken of, you may think, Guruji, you are talking such harsh language. The book is in front of me. I am not making these words up. If Kapila Muni were here today, he would be saying the same words that I am saying because I am just mouthing him. Think on those lines. So we have come to the end of verse 8. We will stop over here for today.
Recording stopped.